Hello, everybody, and welcome to us Blaired Out. So, hello, David.
Hi.
We've got the giggles, guys.
Yeah.
So,
What's that?
we're here to tell you guys that this has been a journey, this
No.
podcast world.
I know.
So, don't
we're
forget
back.
to like, subscribe,
And
share.
follow.
Yes, all of
Is that a
this.
thing?
I mean, I'm assuming you guys were new at this, but you seem to really like it. And
Yeah.
so we wanted to keep going.
Yeah, let us know how much you like it, and we'll keep it going.
Yeah. And if you have a story to tell, we want to hear it. So reach out. You
Yes.
can reach out at blairedout@gmail.com or hit us up on Instagram.
Yep.
We're starting to figure out
Direct
the
DM.
TikTok.
Yeah, little by little.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun with it this past weekend.
Oh my gosh, it was David's birthday.
Yeah.
So a couple weeks
25,
ago.
y'all.
Yeah. He's 25. And apparently I'm his mother. But as you guys know, like when we get together, it's nuts. Like we just like go into La La Land and we'll
And just have a good day.
okay, so we went up to Pinetop and which is beautiful by the
Oh
way.
my God.
And
Perfect weather.
I know. And if you really want to see our like facial expressions, follow us on YouTube.
There's a lot of them.
You'll get the full effect. Because when we went to Pinetop, it was so crazy. We were like on this just crazy spiritual journey where we were just like, let's go out into nature. Let's go get, it was the most beautiful day I've ever seen.
Oh my God. We spent the entire day on my birthday just on an adventure. Like we got into Blaire's Bronco, popped the top off.
Yeah.
And just went, and oh my God, like
It was magical.
yeah, we were in search of all the rivers, all the lakes, and in between our searches, we came across so much more like beautiful things that the mountain had to offer. We even ended up I think my favorite part we had talked about it was when we ended up in the meadow where
Yes.
like all the grass and flowers and then the cows and the baby calves were, and we were just like, oh my God.
I was like
hey.
hanging out the top and I was like, moo cows, so cute. Like I was just like, where are we? And everything was so green and so blue. I thought we were like in Magic Land. Fern Gully. That's where we were.
Gully.
Fern Gully.
We totally listened to Fern Gully. So we went on this hike, and it's another one of our like spots that we just ran across. Actually, I ran across it, and then I was like, Blaire, I got to take you. It's so beautiful. And so, Blaire, being adventurous as she is, was like, yeah, I'm down. Love it.
That was like the story. He'd ask me, he's like, are you down? I'm like, I'm yours. Let's just go.
Wherever you want.
Whatever
Let's
you
go.
want.
I know.
Let's do
I
it.
love that. That's what that's what makes our adventure so fun.
like,
is
have
both
I
of
ever
us are
said
always
no?
like so willing to go, yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So we go hiking like in, what was it? Like another meadow, a hollow?
It's Fern Gully.
Yeah.
That's what we have now
Fern
called
Gully, what we called Fern Gully.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing. The animals we came across, I even saw a stork out of nowhere just like pop up and say hello. I was like, oh, hello.
Deers, elk. We saw the horses, wild horses, the cows,
wild horses.
some weird frog.
I know. So we never did find that. There was
No.
we were walking down this like little stream, and randomly, like 2 or 3 times, like we would hear this like the most awkward scream. It was like a scream. It was like, eh.
It was. It sounded
And then
just
you would
like that.
immediately after hear this bloop, and like we could not find it. We were searching for bubbles. We were hoping we could see it like peek through the water. Nothing.
I was waiting for a bear though because I know they're out. So.
Yeah, and the guys at your neighborhood, like the guards, were like, "Oh yeah, there's bears out. They come for the trash. Be on your lookout when you go for a walk."
We were
Which
walking
we did almost every day.
every day, nonstop. And then like there's this day, this like magical, beautiful day, which happened to be on your birthday. And then we're on TikTok because we're like chilling at the house, like just like, we're burnt. We're burnt. We're dehydrated.
Yeah.
And we look and it's like, I had no clue the earth had a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Like none.
See,
You
and
knew?
I had known because
was shocking to
I
me.
go to bed with like the meditations with like binaural beats.
Okay.
And so the Earth's heartbeat is, I think it's like 7.83 hertz or 7.3 hertz, something like that. And so it's like a very mellow like beat in your head and it's supposed to calm and relax you. But I had no idea that, there was such a major event going on with it.
It was
that
like
weekend.
a ton of major events, by the way.
like day after day after day, we're hearing about it.
The submarine.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Full of billionaires. I know. I saw. That's so sad. And then there was the constant alien invasions that are apparently happening all over the place.
We attempted to go alien.
We did. And then I told the poor restaurant guy, I was like, "Hey, where's the aliens?" And
like,
he goes, "There
no
are
such
none."
thing. Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, dang it. I guess I should have taken my red pill or blue pill today." And he's like, "You don't want to take a blue pill."
Yeah. He's like, "Trust me, especially around here."
I was like, what does that mean?
Oh my God.
And then here we are dancing on top of the car.
Yeah.
I mean, we were in
the middle of this like tiny little mountain town, by the way, where everybody, like all the locals are watching. They're like, "Oh God.
Hold my phone. We got to do a TikTok right now." And he's like, "Your friend scares me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's because you spit your drink everywhere.
It really did go out guys, I like am trying to hide my fingernails because I've lost every single nail right now. Guys, this trip was rough.
It was rough.
But it was magical.
Yeah.
But again, we did look for aliens.
We did. I brought my dowsing rods and everything, taught you how to use them. I was like,
We only
go.
found chapstick.
We did.
He showed me and it really worked. I was like shocked. I've seen my clients use them for like to find water, but I didn't know you can like find missing things.
Anything.
It's pretty interesting.
Yes, no answers, maybe so.
Oh, and
Find the
apparently
location of anything.
Right now there's like a coup going on in Russia. It's like happening right now.
A coup?
Which if what they're listening to is be in like a couple weeks. But yeah, it's like in Russia right now. It's like all over because I get all my news from TikTok. So there's a coup of the it's like the Wagner team or Wagner group. Like, do you know about this? It is. So you know about this. It's like there's a coup. So basically Russia's was going against their own or not protecting them, not feeding them, was shooting at them. And they're like, heck no, turning back. And they're going to Moscow right now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, stay tuned because apparently I know the news now. Yeah.
Thank you, TikTok.
Thank you, TikTok. But you know what really ticks my TikTok off?
Grinds my gears.
Yeah, grinds my gears. Okay, I'm like looking for health benefits, right? Just kind of new to this whole TikTok thing. I see this thing, it's like prevents cancer, right? I'm like on it, natural. And it's like eat apricot seeds, okay? Listen, no, I'm serious. I order these apricot seeds to my house. I'm about to take a handful because, right, like the more you eat, the better, like a handful. And then Ryan's like, hold up. There's directions on the back. I'm like, directions for seeds? Like what? Do I like have to cook them a certain way? Oh no. If you eat more than 2, your body produces cyanide and you can die.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Moderation, Blaire, moderation.
But it's like, but 1, like here's a chance. Like here's this apricot seed.
Let's give you just enough. Yeah.
Why is that not? I didn't see that on TikTok. No, didn't. No, I didn't.
Thank you, TikTok.
Yeah. Supposed to be all healthy and,
I know these TikTok
almost killed me.
Health people should come with a warning. Don't really know it all.
No.
No.
Where are you getting your facts?
Google. They're Google doctors.
I know. Google doctors. But I mean, still going to watch and follow it. And
Still going to try it.
I mean, I was really like, I put it in a smoothie and I was like, what could it hurt? Robbie's like, do not drink that. You don't know how many put in there. I was like, at least 6. No. He threw it out. I was like, willing. I was like, but I'm not going to get cancer because of an apricot seed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 of them.
6.
Cyanide ate it.
Cyanide. Definitely, totally could have knocked me out for good.
Oh my God.
Again, thank you, TikTok.
Yeah, warning label.
Have you look at TikTok and followed any advice on it?
No, I haven't.
Good for you.
I do love to listen to it and see what they're saying, but no.
What's your favorite conspiracy theory?
On TikTok?
Yeah.
Oh my God. There's so many.
There's so many.
Which one? Health-wise, government-wise, alien-wise? What are we talking about? There's so
I'm going to stay away from the government so we don't have people coming after us. So let's go health-wise.
Health-wise. Well, that was definitely one of them.
Yeah.
And then it had to do with rhubarb. I know you. Okay, so the leaf of rhubarb.
Okay.
There was one video I had come across where this guy's telling these people like, yeah, you can use the leaf in a salad, and I'm like, no, like the leaf is so toxic. Like the stem of the rhubarb,
Yeah.
you use it, you do all that things, but the leaf is like the most toxic part of rhubarb. And so I'm listening to this guy, being like, yeah, it's perfect. You just chop it up. I'm like, oh, he's gonna kill himself. Like, what is he doing? No, like,
Yeah.
no, please, people don't. And this is why, like, I've come across too many of those where I'm just like,
No, like don't take it, please.
because you know
as
me,
facts.
I'm like a freak with all those like natural health. And
He tried to get me to eat a
and-
raspberry bush that may or may not have been a raspberry bush. So, mister, don't you go there with
In my
me.
defense, we were on an adventure. I couldn't tell much of anything apart that day.
I think this can be a good tea right here.
But no, it was not. I soon, once I actually saw the raspberry bush, was like, oh yeah, there it is.
That's not it.
The leaves are very distinct.
We were on an adventure. We may not have come back, but we had a blast.
How we got back.
I love Pinetop. I'm like, that's all for it. I believe in like going on vacations and like really just like, and not going like, sometimes on a vacation you go so hard, right? You're just like, be here, like be there, you go to the beach, go get this, go to this
super
restaurant.
chill.
It was so relaxing.
Like we literally just whatever we felt we did.
Yeah.
And both of us were okay with it. Like
was
we
really
spent
nice.
we literally spent the entire next day after my birthday in your back patio. Like from the time we woke up, we were in the rocking chairs, enjoyed our coffee, and they're like, okay, let's go in the back.
Thank
and
you.
literally just hung out, enjoying the phenomenal weather.
It's so beautiful. I'm all about this weather right now.
A ton of mimosas.
We did have it out
And
of
then
my
we binge watched 365 days.
Okay,
Which, oh
let's
my
talk
God.
about that. Oh, sorry, I just screamed in the mic. I was very excited. My hands are sweaty. Okay, I know you all have been watching this 365 for a good solid like year or more. We did not know about it.
So my sister had told me about it because she's like, she was obsessed with 50 Shades. And I wasn't big on that one. I was like, like it was all right. I think it was, but she's telling me about this. I'm like, no, maybe not. And then you brought it up because I forgot how we got on the topic, but I was like, yeah, sure. Like that sounds fun. Let's do it. Oh my God, Monique's my sister, by the way. You did not tell me how good this was. Like Jesus.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, and then we watched all 3 movies in a row.
In a row. We binged. Like there's one more and now we're like itching for it. We're addicted. We're like,
so
where
sad.
is it?
I mean, who do you want her with? Massimo or Nacho?
Look, like.
They're both hot, by the way. If you've not seen it, see it, watch it. 365 days. It doesn't matter that's in a different language because it's like a bunch of different languages. You're reading it, you feel like you're there.
It's hard. Like the realistic part of me is like, Massimo kidnapped me. He forced me to love him.
Is this not the saddest
But at the same
thing?
time, he he let me go because he loves me and hoped the bird would fly back.
What
Bullshit.
is wrong with all of us?
But you know what? I'd probably go back to see
kidnapped
some.
her. He kidnapped her. And like basically, we're all into it.
Even though I know Nacho's probably going to be the better choice, I can't help it.
Massimo.
But there's also just something so more like,
You'd be bored with Nacho. Well, maybe not, because they do the same job. They're both like mafia bosses' sons. So,
I'd have a good time either way.
you guys, tell us.
Maybe I'd just keep
Nacho?
both of them, keep playing dumb.
You kept saying
You
that.
know that.
You kept
I
saying
would probably
it.
just keep. I'd be like, "Kid."
There's the scene where it's like the 3 of them, and you're like, "This is how do I visualize to become her?"
Oh,
right
I was
now?
trying to manifest it. I was like, how do I manifest this life? Somebody kidnapped me.
What is wrong with us?
Oh my God,
The
it's
whole
horrible.
point of the story is he kidnapped her because he had a vision of her. Or he saw her. I'm not really sure how that.
I forgot. Yeah, I didn't catch. It was.
But he saw her and like looked for her
And he was
everywhere.
like, she's mine.
She's mine, and was forceful about it.
Mm-hmm.
But the sex scenes.
You know what? When I think about it, I'm like, oh man, I think about all my ex-boyfriends, and then I'm like, no, I might go with Nacho.
Nacho. I know, because reality, like that's the reality of it.
I'm like, now you're saying it again. I'm like,
You get dickmatized, and then all of a sudden,
not cute, guys, not cute.
yeah, it's not just like the healthier choice.
But you know what? I'm gonna live in my fantasy right now.
I know.
And I'm just gonna pretend play.
So
dumb
we're gonna
and have them
choose
both.
for both, but I'm telling you, 365, you guys,
Watch it. Yeah.
hot,
Yeah.
hot.
Jesus.
I know. I'm like,
my
we could
God.
have just gone off. I'm getting a little hot and bothered.
Yeah. And now I know why it was so easy to binge, though. Like from daytime to night, we look and we're like, oh my God, it's like midnight. What
No,
happened?
I totally get the obsession, and now I'm like a part of it too. So now, like, I can join in on the conversations.
I can't wait till the next one comes out, and I'm gonna rewatch all of them.
Yep. And
have to.
Vanderpump Scandal's finally done.
Is it?
You never got into it.
I know. I couldn't.
Super bummed.
I was like, yeah. It sounded interesting, and then I just.
There's like the diehard Vanderpump scandals, like Vanderpump Rules, people who've seen it from day one. And we've been watching it for like, I think it's been like 10, 11 seasons.
That I do know, yeah.
And
because didn't she stem off from another show? Wasn't it Housewives?
yeah, it was like the first Beverly Housewives, I think.
Yeah.
And then Lisa Vanderpump was like, hey, these
Did a
kids in
spin-off,
college, that are not college. I think they were all in the restaurant industry, which you've worked in the restaurant industry, right?
For a split second.
Split second?
Mm-hmm.
I've done years of it. It's a whole other can of drama.
Oh, God, yeah.
And so I was like, I totally understand this young, kids in the service industry and all their drama. And they were actually really friends. So then with the whole drama of it, I mean, everyone's kind of over it because, the whole affair and a scandal. But it's finally like wrapping up. And it's crazy because you're starting to see like the mental health. Like there's some people who should not be in reality TV.
Yeah.
But the producers love it because they're like, look at this shit show.
Well, that's why.
Let's
Yeah,
make
they bank
you.
off of it.
Yeah. Like it's crazy. So, I mean, I just think like, I know people want to be like in that industry of like celebrity, but like, can you take it? Can you handle it?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people not be able to handle it. So,
And so who's not handling it so well now? Is it
Raquel or Rachel, depending if you like her or not. Nobody really seems to do. So, I guess her
one's
name's Rachel. She's the Raquel.
Oh.
But her legal name is Rachel. So everyone's like, like what Ariana said, Ariana's the one who she had the affair with and was her best friend, says, you have your friends call you Rachel or your friends call you Raquel. You have no more friends. So now you will be called Rachel.
Wow.
Snap.
Okay.
I mean, scorned woman.
Yeah.
She was.
Her best friend just.
But she's like been in a mental health. I mean, to be honest,
Raquel
you did.
or Ariana?
Yeah, no, Raquel. Ariana's the one who's thriving, the blonde. But again, if you get caught on national TV having an affair with your best friend's man of 10 years,
not even caring.
You not caring, you gotta go to a mental health facility.
I mean,
That's your only way out.
Ugh.
That's your only way out. Apparently, she was here in Tucson.
Oh. I'm surprised
Yeah,
nobody lynched her.
at Miraval.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, weren't we talking about that like not that long ago?
Uh-huh.
Wanting to go up there?
Yeah, because it's not a mental health facility.
It's not. It's a resort.
It's a resort and a spa.
I wish I could be rich enough to call a resort a mental health facility.
Right? I was
Jesus.
looking up some of their packages, thousands of dollars to get your aura read. Promise. We're in the wrong job. We got to go work for
Doesn't that have
Miraval.
to charge?
Yeah. I
Oh
mean,
my
you
God,
and
Bisbee,
I.
watch out.
I know. When we went to Bisbee, we read people's palms and we're getting like super accurate.
Oh my God. This was like, the funniest story. Like,
Yeah. That was like for your Cassandra and Jackie's birthday and your birthday kind of all in
I
one.
think it was Cassandra's birthday.
Well,
We
Bisbee's
went up there.
magical as it is anyways.
Yeah, I forgot how we got into it. All I know is like everybody's like, "Oh, it's the karaoke group. It's the karaoke group," and somehow it
We
was.
were
known
drunk,
that
David. We were drunk. And we started reading people's palms.
Nobody did. Somebody say that we read palms though, or did
I
it
think
just
we just
like,
volunteered.
Did,
Pretty much. I know I started it. It is a trick, a drinking trick that I have that I can actually we'll read them.
no, we were killing it.
We were on it. We were
know.
good.
People wanted to give us money, and we were like, we can't take
I
it.
can't take your money. It
It's a
ruins
gift.
the
Ruins the vibes.
The vibes.
And the Jackie, I'll take it. Sorry,
Jackie took it.
but you can buy me a
Like, she
drink.
could buy me
though.
a drink,
It makes
though.
the vibes a lot stronger.
Yeah. we were special.
But kid you, not spot on all the readings. I mean, we
Yeah.
had people crying, hugging us, thanking us. It was phenomenal.
And then a witch came, remember?
Yes.
She came and targeted me.
Yes.
And she's like, you and I have been sisters in another life. And I was like, I don't know where you're going with
She's an
this.
interesting young girl.
She was, yeah, I had to remove, I then was like, oh, you poor thing. Let me save you. And then at the end of the night, I was like, I gotta go.
She went back to you. I think because you let her in. She tried inside. I'm like, oh, that's cute. Thanks.
She was interesting.
I'm reading here. Back up.
Yeah. Apparently we were on a warpath in another life. And I was like, I don't think so. I'm a good witch. You're a bad witch.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
She had something with her boyfriend. She kept saying to you. I remember.
No, it was dark, like what she was saying, and I was just like, "What? You scare me." Her family owns the haunted hotel in Bisbee, the famous one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is it the Copper Queen?
Copper Queen, and they call her the Copper Queen.
The girl.
Uh huh.
I
And
missed
she
that
was
part.
telling me all sorts of things, like how many dark gargoyles and demons are over there. And I was like, you
I
scare
stayed
me.
away.
No, I was like, you scare me. She was saying like all sorts of like hauntings. She said there's a certain room that you don't want to go to. I should have written it down because I'll probably end up there.
Well, add another adventure to the list.
And if you go to Bisbee, there is someone called the Bloody Mary Fairy. And
Yes.
she's on Sundays.
I only had a taste of her Bloody Marys because I was so hungover I couldn't handle
You
it.
looked like a pirate on the bench outside.
Well, I
just
fell
laying
asleep
there.
on somebody's bench. I did not realize. I was like, okay, we're going to be here a lot long. We were supposed to leave early, but somebody got their keys locked in the men's bathroom. How good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We stayed there. And I love it. It was like,
Anyway,
it's okay. So I
We're
was
like, you know what? We're here. Fine. All I know is I'm hungover. I didn't sleep. I need a place to sleep that's in the shade. I found a bench in a park. I walked to a couple blocks down the street, and I was like, oh my God.
I was laying on the pool table. Remember? I looked homeless.
Yeah. And all of a sudden I remember I'm like waking up, and this lady's just like yelling at me, like, that's my bench.
That's
like,
my
get off.
bench.
And I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? Like, wait, I'm hungover, please. Like, give me a minute.
You came running in.
And then I'm like looking at my phone. I was like, where are you? Where are you? What happened? Where'd you go?
You like disappeared.
Well, no, it was that. I think it was that because there was that homeless guy that was yelling at us who was dressed as the pirate.
Yes.
He ended up coming to her rescue, quote
Yes.
unquote, while I was on the bench. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm still processing what's happening. I have the lady yelling. Then this guy, the pirate, comes and starts yelling. And I'm like, okay, guys, like, I'm out. I'm fine.
I'm
And I remember
leaving.
going back and I'm like, I think the pirate's girlfriend like kicked me out of a bench.
Yeah. You like woke up and then you came in and I was passed out on the pool table.
You were passed out. I'm surprised nobody like
Was
kicked
a
us
really
out.
good weekend.
It was a lot of fun.
Well, I was so tired and I looked. What'd you guys call me that weekend? Claire.
Claire.
Yeah. Claire.
Yeah.
Because I looked like my lesser version of myself. And I was obsessed with the pizza. So I was like,
Oh my
I'm like, I was
God.
like the troll under the
We
bench.
had like
so it was like,
3 large pizzas that you just like tore through.
guys, that's a little thing about me.
Oh.
Don't put pizza in front of me.
No.
I will eat it all.
She is a sucker for pizza. Like that is no
Good pizza.
lie.
It is.
Yes.
It's my favorite.
The first time you took me to
kryptonite.
Sholo, I'm just like, oh my God.
No, remember
We
when
were so drunk and we were watching TV. And all of a sudden we're like, okay, let's go to bed. And she gets up and of course she goes for the pizza box and she's like, who ate all the pizza? Like genuinely shocked and like in pure disgust. Like, what the fuck? Like, where did my pizza go? How is it gone? What's happening right now? And I'm like, Blaire, you literally were eating it throughout the entire movie. She was like, I did. She's like, there is like no more pizza.
I
I'm
was
like, yeah.
literally shocked. I thought like we split it. And you're
No.
like, Blaire, you ate. I go,
I had like one slice.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I ate it all. It was like I was like shocked.
You like kept getting up and grab a slice, sit down, eat. It was like,
I feel like Drew Barrymore in that Never Been Kissed. Or she's like, someone ate my pie. Who ate it? It's like, you did. What?
I forgot about that. I love that. After she eats the brownie.
I can't do that. I can't hang out with you anymore. I'm gonna I'm gonna eat all the food in the world.
Oh my God, this weekend too, though. We didn't, you know what, though? We didn't eat the pizza.
We didn't.
We did get a good chunk of it, but we did not.
We were all about our
But we
fruit.
had-
Like
yeah.
we were having all the fruit, which my
I think we did
husband's
eat
telling
everything
me
else
apparently
inside.
because the weather's been so nice that it's like affecting all the produce. And so like all the produce are behind.
Well, I believe because we didn't get to pick raspberries.
I know.
Because they didn't bloom. It was
It's been
too
such
cold.
nice weather.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
But I guess that doesn't help like
Yeah.
product.
Yeah, not
Because
at
like
all.
tree fruit's behind, watermelon's behind, like
Which
all
I'm
of it.
surprised because the watermelon out there in Shola was, I mean, the one I picked was
It was
phenomenal.
yummy.
Yeah, it was sweet. It was juicy. It's delicious.
Maybe it was a later vine. I don't know. I don't know anything about produce besides what my husband tells me and what I like to eat.
I'm a sucker for watermelon.
Is that your favorite fruit?
Yeah.
Watermelon?
Oh, yeah.
Mine's
Watermelon season, I
mangoes.
always have watermelon in the fridge. Like that's
Watermelon. There's a watermelon salad that I want to make.
Really?
I saw it on TikTok.
That I do follow. Now that I will always like is recipes, some good
This
recipes.
is a problem, David, when TikTok is how you find everything out. Like, this is a problem.
We gotta get you away. We gotta get you away.
Yes. Yes.
There's a thing I think it's called the 411.org or .com. It's like news perfectly sent to you every morning.
Yes.
To your email.
Is it like real news?
Yeah. So it's not leftist. It's not right. It's like
Good.
we're just getting
The actual
the facts.
news?
We're getting what it is.
Okay.
And posting
What's it called?
here. I I think it's like 411.com.
Okay,
or
yeah,
411.
send that
I
to
love
me.
it. It sends it to your email every morning. You get it all right there.
I gotta get it. The TikTok is like, someone posted on one of my things. They're like, yeah, TikTok is meant to like TikTok your life away.
And it does. Well, because you think about it, like, I never caught it. You'd start 1 minute and then like 5 hours go by. Because a lot of times it happens when I'm going to bed. I'm like, oh, I'll scroll through a few. And I usually like lay in bed about 9 o'clock, 9:30. And the next thing you know, it's like 11:30 midnight. I'm like, what the hell?
What?
But it's because they're so short. There's such short reels and you keep flicking. You don't realize.
Yes.
Like, you go through 60 of those minute, what are they called? Reels?
Yeah.
You just
Or
pass
clips.
the whole hour. That didn't feel like an hour because
It's insane. Like it does. It makes your time go by so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And like I feel like I don't have enough time in the day anyways. So I'm gonna have to remove that. So
I was like, I don't have
We'll
time
still
to meditate
post.
at evening. Maybe if I didn't look through TikTok.
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, and then there was something about like, again, because I love conspiracy theories, but about like this something that's coming that will give us a 6 to 8 month internet blackout.
Oh, you know what? I remember you telling me about that when we were up on the mountain.
Something
But
about a
I
solar
didn't-
flare.
Yeah.
A solar flare that's going to, what will you do without internet? I want to know what you would do without internet.
Live your life.
I'd be fine.
Yeah.
But again, like you think about, you'd have to go old school with real estate, like knock on doors, like all
I honestly
tech is
think
gone.
that's where I would lose my shit is because I do use my maps like a madman like that.
We'd
saves my
have
life
to go back to maps.
Yeah.
No, because you can't even print it. So you would have to go by your own memory.
Map. You'd have map.
real
like, print
map.
out real map.
See, I was
Old
thinking
school.
MapQuest. Look at,
That's internet girl.
I'm so screwed. I'm so screwed. Like what? What would we do? Okay, so think like really.
idea.
So we'd have to like, could you go to the store and just buy stuff?
I mean, if you had
Because
cash.
then your transaction is all probably internet. Yeah. So then cash is back. Oh, think about that.
Which is smart for those people on the mountain. I mean, we ran into a lot of places that were cash only. We were just dumbfounded.
This is all reasons why we're keep saying this because we're like, this is happening. Pinetop, we'd be fine.
Would we?
There's no internet there.
True.
Netflix. What are you going to do without Netflix?
Live.
No,
Go to
seriously.
Pinetop.
I'd actually, besides it like destroying the wealth of like everyone, because it's all internet. Think about that. That's stock. That's literally what doesn't have internet.
Yeah.
Books. Books will
There you
thrive.
Go out in nature. Go for a hike.
I know.
Because we are products of the 80s and 90s. Like, we're there.
But you can't even like grow your own fruit now without having to like register it.
That's not true. Not yet. It's getting there.
It's getting there?
It's getting there.
Okay, we got to
So
get
I
on
heard.
that. See, this one's all about your little
They're trying to work
conspiracy
on
theories,
that. Yeah.
making you
that's
think.
That's conspiracy theory they're trying to work on.
But think about that. Could you live if internet went bye-bye? Could you? I mean, I think I'd be fine. Like it's old school, right?
I would hope I would be fine. I
We
would hope.
So we would be what year? See, I'm older than you. What year would this be when internet kind of came on?
Wasn't it like in the 70s, 80s?
70s and 80s?
No, I don't know.
It was the 90s.
No, it wasn't. That's when it got bigger. Internet was out for a long time.
Internet didn't go until you had the big computer and it was all you did. You see, you're too young. You don't even remember that sound. And then you'd have that.
I do remember. I know it was in the
AOL.
early 90s when our elementary school started bringing in like computers that had internet and they gave us like short little classes. But I know internet was around for much longer.
No, not that much.
It just wasn't as like.
Well, it
what's
wasn't the
word?
80s, that's for sure. It was the 90s. I'd say later. Am I right? Little internet?
It was like 70s, late
Yeah,
70s.
that's what I'm saying. Internet has been around for a long time. It just wasn't like so
AOL,
big.
like fast.
That was, yeah.
It was just government in colleges.
Yes.
Government and colleges. Can you be before that?
And then it was popularized and modernized.
And then sped
And
up.
welcomed
Like,
in homes.
I mean, it was never fast enough. Nothing's ever fast enough.
Yeah. But then I remember
I like a
dial-up.
reset, to be honest. I mean,
I think
I'd be
it'd be fun.
scared, but I mean, I think of reset, like everyone's on a reset, 3 months, go, boom.
Yeah. And I remember Matt and Christina and I were talking about the internet and AOL and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was like the whole dial-up.
The
I hated
dial-up.
that.
The dial-up AOL.
And then you had to get charged for the hours.
Kids would lose their minds. Imagine kids that have it so easy.
It would take forever for a
Dial
web
up
page.
phones.
Yeah.
Those kids I've seen that they can't even figure out the dial up.
Like a phone, a dial phone.
A dial phone. Like how to do it? I've seen. You know how to do that, right?
The spin dial?
Yeah.
Yeah.
think
I
it's
grew
so
up on
fun.
those.
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
I was still, my grandma had those. We still had like the dials on the TVs.
I want one
when
for
was a
Pinetop
kid.
because I think it's so cute.
A dial phone?
I mean, you never know. We might need it for when the internet goes out.
Do they still make landlines? Is that a thing?
Yes. He's still making it. We're
Oh,
never going to make it.
Duh. I work with one at work. Duh. Have a landline there.
We're never going to make it. Never going to make it.
We wouldn't make it.
I would
I don't
find a
think
way.
we'd make it.
I'd surprise you. We would go out and eat the wrong raspberries. That would probably be the problem.
Be the rhubarb leaf instead.
You never know. I was ready for that wild horse to come at me, and I was like, I'm going to jump on him.
Oh my God. We walked towards those horses.
We did. We walked with these horses. Dave's like, you want to see these horses? Again,
Let's go
I never say
closer.
no.
Yeah.
I'm like, sure, why not? And then these horses, there's 5 of them, all of a sudden look up because they got a baby with them. And they were like, whoom.
They literally all lined up and just stared at us. We're like, oh shit.
Oh
Too
yeah.
close.
Then we start backing up. And I was like, don't worry, I got this. I'll bear back. When it comes up, I'll just grab it by its mane and jump on it. I trip over a rock 5 seconds later.
Walking back to the car.
I mean, who I think I am and who I really am are two
I would
very
still
different
love to
things.
see the challenge though.
You never know. You never know. I mean, it
You
could
know,
be.
being you, I would honestly like expect that you would somehow pull it off and end up like barebacking this wild horse into the wild. Like
I would. I'd find a way.
you totally would. If there was anybody, it would be you for sure. I turned around, you're like, look at me.
I would. I know. Like I said, I scared like half the people that were there this weekend. He's like, your friend scares me. Because I just like to laugh. Oh, I laughed so hard my stomach hurt this weekend.
We left.
We needed
lot
it though.
there.
There was a lot of like, just even with like this podcast, right? Like, just lately we've been on go, and got so excited. And then all of a sudden it was just like this big hurdle. And I'm not going to like get into it. I don't want to like say anything, but like it sucked. Like all of a sudden it was like a halt, just came in and we're like, is this what we want to do? Like, is this what I want to do?
Yeah.
And then it's crazy like how like God intervenes, like seriously. We got a phone call from Aaron Kaiser. Aaron Kaiser, introduced us to ArcLight. And so it was amazing. Yeah. And it was like, boom, boom, boom. And we're like, okay.
It happened so fast.
And I looked at Dave and I was like, are we supposed to do this? Because we do. We have fun on here. We have conversations. We make you guys laugh. I know a lot of you guys say it like feels like you guys are here with us, which I mean, I think we're hilarious. But what we do is we want to bring more and more awareness of like real life, like what's going on. Like people have some stories to tell.
Yeah.
They've been through some trials. They've been through some stuff. And
it can be exhausting. So to be a break in somebody's day is like, I think it's a blessing, truthfully.
I felt like when we kind of really like meditated on it this weekend, it was like, this is what we're supposed to do.
I think we got our sign. I think it definitely came to us, this weekend on our journey.
Because I don't think it's about just us. It's about your story. Like, what do you want to hear about? Like real life, we're not celebrities over here. We're real people who've gone through real things. And, when you've overcome it, it's like, how do you help others?
Exactly.
Because there's sometimes where you are in it and it sucks.
And it's nice to share your story and then, have others reach out and say, hey, I've actually been here. Let me help you.
Yeah.
So that's part of the, blessing about coming on here and being as vulnerable as I feel we have.
I think we're a safe place, which has been, a lot of people have said, like, we're a safe place. We want to be a safe place for you guys. We definitely, I know you guys like the questions and answers, and we're going to bring those back up.
Those were fun. I know.
Yeah.
I want to do some more of that. That was a lot of fun. I definitely enjoyed that episode.
We just, we like our people. We want to be there out there. I love that. What they say that you needed to tell what story, the girls on the next podcast?
Oh my God, that's right. So I was reminded of the time when we went to go test for our real estate exam. And, aromatherapy, they're like, yeah, use peppermint oil. It like wakens you up, energizes you, helps stimulate the brain. So
I almost killed you.
So I had this bright idea. I'm like, hey, we're going to go take our real estate test. We have to wear our mask. Let's put a little bit of peppermint essential oil on the mask.
I'm being blinded. I'm like guided by this man telling me, oh, aromatherapy. It's going to calm you down.
Oh my God,
Here's
no.
a little lavender and peppermint.
We suffered the entire test.
Our eyes are watering.
We
I can barely see. And no, I'm literally panicking, having world of anxiety inside this mask of peppermint and calmness.
Oh my God, we show up to the testing site and the guy's like looking at us. He's like, okay, you guys, it's not that serious. Like, you guys can smile. Like, it's not that scary. And we're like, oh no, like, that's not what's going on.
My mask smelt for a year. Like, I couldn't wash it out.
I swear. So then throughout the entire exam, we're not supposed to look at each other. We're supposed to look at our tests. But Blaire and I would like kind of glance at each other the whole time, like just tears throughout the entire test.
Crying.
Because we can't take our mask off or we get disqualified. So.
And we both failed. So there's that.
We did fill that one.
Failed. Like, completely.
So much for the peppermint working.
No, it didn't work. And then you're like, hey, want a little bit of peppermint? I'm like, I'm scarred. Okay, thanks.
It hurt to breathe. It was awful. Like breathing it in, my throat was like getting so dry in my chest. Like my eyes could not stop watering.
No, I don't trust you anymore. That's it. It's done.
Yeah,
no, I still actually, he'd probably give me oils right now and I would do it.
Yeah.
Because, okay, but there was a story that you told me a couple weeks ago and I was so mad for you.
For me?
I want you to talk about how we won't say the name, but the liquor store would not let you pay for a homeless man's food. Or what are, I think we're not supposed to say homeless anymore.
Store.
The without homes? Or is it
Homeless. I don't know the word. Homeless is fine.
Unhomed?
Unhomed?
Yeah, unhomed.
The unhomed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, but
No, that was at a convenience store. I was on the phone with you.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, and then I hung up when I got in. That's right.
I was so...
No, so yeah, I was pumping gas, talking to you on the phone, and this, guy comes up and asks for money for food, and I'm like, hey, guy, like, sorry, I don't have any cash.
Yeah.
But, I'm glad to buy you some food, like, not a problem. So I finished pumping my gas and tell you I'll call you back, go in, and I'm getting all shaky and angry all over again. I'm like, oh my God. So I tell the guy, like, help yourself, like, get whatever you need, don't be shy. And the clerk's like just staring at me, shaking his head, like in disgust. And I'm like, I noticed him looking, but I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, because I already know. And so I'm like, whatever, ignore him. Like, just let this guy do his thing. And so finally the guy comes up and is like, is this okay? And I'm like, that's a bag of chips. Like, no, dude, like, go grab food. Like, grab whatever you want. Like, grab it. This is your time. And then so all of a sudden the clerk is like, you can't do that. Can't do that. And I look over, I'm like, what do you do? What are you talking about? He's like, you can't do that. I'm like, make a purchase?
Like, do what?
I was like, then that's what I said. I was like, make a purchase. And he was like, no, you can't feed that guy. And I'm like, excuse me? Well, I'm shaking. I'm getting,
I know.
It just,
when he told me, I was like, I wanted you to hear this story because I was so annoyed.
I'm getting all mad all over again.
I know.
And so then immediately, like, I'm fuming and I'm like, what? I'm going to try not to cuss, but it's going to happen. I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what is your problem? I go, I can't feed him. I can't make a purchase.
This is your choice and your money. It makes
no sense. Well, then he's like, well, he's known for stealing. I'm like, well, he's not stealing today. Like, I'm buying his meal. What's the big deal? Well, no, I'm not selling you that purchase. I'm like, the fuck you will. Like, you are going to sell me this food. Like, fuck you. Yeah, I'm like, the guy already, like, feels bad enough asking me for money, I'm sure. Yeah. And then he's already being so humble about what he's choosing. Mm-hmm. And now this asshole's coming here and making him feel even worse. I'm like, it is his right to eat.
Well, not even him. Why? He's making you a paying customer with your choice because of why? Well, good. If he stole, that's super frustrating. I totally understand your feelings on that. However, it's still my choice to use my money how I want to.
Yeah. Well, I hate hearing that when people say that shit. Like, a lot of people in my family do the same. It's like, why are you giving it to them? They're just going to use it for drugs or alcohol. That's none of your business. Yeah. That is none of your business. That's theirs. Mm-hmm. Okay? Leave it alone. I'm like, you're a fucking awful person if you think that. Like, what I do with my money is my business and my karma.
But you weren't even giving him money. You were giving him a food choice and a drink option.
And I will never deny anybody. Like, I don't always carry cash. We're talking about, like, cash is just not a thing anymore. So like, if I can buy you food, then yeah, that's my first offer I'm going to go to. Like, I
Yeah.
don't have cash. Let's get you food. And I mean it. When I say let's get you food, I will get you whatever. Eat. Like,
Yeah.
please. I've been there. I know what it is to be hungry. Like,
Yeah.
have it. And so, yeah, I just kept fighting on and on with this clerk. And it wasn't until the cop finally came that he was like, calmed everything down. I got riled up with the cop too, because I'm like, fuck you. Like, you're not going to tell me I can't buy this guy food. But it ended up working out. He ends up looking at the clerk. It's like, dude, you're an asshole. Like,
He did?
Yeah. He's like,
Oh, okay.
he's like,
I wasn't.
he's just
We were
trying to
heated
buy
at
food.
so I didn't know.
Once everybody calmed down and the cop realized what was going on and why I was so heated, then he was like, oh, well, that's stupid. Like,
Yeah.
he's like looking at the clerk like it's a sale for you. He's not still like,
Yeah. Why are we
what's
even
the big
here?
deal?
Why am I being called for this right
but
now?
still, this poor guy still feel bad because at the end of it, he just grabbed like a small soda and a bag of chips. And I was like, we're here. I'm not letting this asshole tell you no, like, get it. And
Yeah.
he would, and I felt bad.
So all of that, and he wouldn't even get any food, and
He
you
wouldn't
got
really
kicked
get any
out. You
food.
got banned,
and then I
right?
got banned, yeah, which is fine. I don't
No
care.
good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah, but I'm like, that's the short, sweet version. I just, oh my God, like it still just rails. I'm still shaky. Like it just
I just
pisses
don't
me off, like
understand.
to no end. I'm like, why
Yeah.
do you feel like you have to go and make somebody feel bad for wanting a basic human need? Like it's just such bullshit. Such bullshit.
I mean, I get it. If like you feel like their choices with cash are not the correct choices, then bring the sandwich.
Yeah.
Bring a water bottle.
Yeah.
Like it's just doesn't like you don't need to be their judgment day.
No.
Or, but if you're showing love and kindness and hope to even the people at the lowest of the low that are going through the hardest day, maybe that one day of kindness
Save their life.
could change something.
Yeah, change their life, save their life, whichever.
I mean, I've heard of stories being like, wow, like, oh, I prayed, can I be out of this situation? Or if you're real God, would you come here and like show me something? And people just giving those gestures and like showing kindness they're like, I changed my life after that. Now, I'm not sure if that's happening all the time. Drugs is a mental illness. Like like drugs and what they do is a disease.
Yeah.
That addiction is a disease.
But we don't even know if he's on drugs.
Exactly. So, I mean, even if they were or not, you're providing food.
Yeah.
Not I don't know. It's just, I'm like, be kind, people. Like, just be nice and be kind. I mean,
And that's the first time I've ever faced something like that. So I didn't know how. In my mind, I kept telling myself, like, you're going to handle this like with elegance and grace. You're going to, no, no. I'm just too passionate about certain things.
I would have done the same thing.
I can't.
Though. I would have been frustrated.
I was like, elegance and motherfucker. Like, excuse me. So we now know how I'm going to operate in the future when it comes to that. Hopefully
I know.
not again, never happens again. But usually like I get mostly disappointed by the people who are around me as far as like my friends or family that are with me when those occurrences happen. Usually it's my own people that are like, why? Don't waste your money. No, I'm going to leave you. I've had people as even she who should not be mentioned who was like, well, I'm just going to leave you then. I'm not waiting for you. And I'm like, that's fine. I'll call an Uber. Like, I'm going to feed this man. And I think I took him to like, there was a Taco Bell up the street. So we walked because we had the kids in the car. So I'm like, yeah, hop in my car. But we walked and
why kids are always
he was like, I have my family. Like, do you mind if
Yeah.
I get other stuff? I'm like, whatever you need, man. Like, get it. Because I mean, it's nothing to help people. It is nothing.
Yeah.
It costs nothing. Well, in this case it did. But at the big scheme of things, I can make more money.
Yeah.
Like they obviously needed it more
It's
than
not,
I
I mean,
did.
a bag of chips and a drink is not going to like break the bank. Or you could be like my dad, where you give them, $20 or $10, and then he says, "Say a prayer for me."
If I have it, I'm
No,
whatever
he
cash. But I
tells-
love that.
He tells them to say a
Okay,
prayer
it's okay.
for him. He goes, "Say a prayer for me." I'm like, "Dad, you say a prayer for them." He's like, "I'm giving them $20. Say a prayer for me." And I'm like, okay, there you go.
God bless them.
And then he starts like handing joints out to like
Now that I believe.
everywhere.
I'm like, you can't go give
this
me joints
isn't
to them. They're already
collateral.
hungry.
Like he's like he tips people. Like, hey, and he knows. He can always like sense. He's like, you want this over cash, right? I'm like, oh my gosh. But he like lives in LA, so I mean,
I actually remember my mom telling me a story of her and my godmother when they were young, giving a unhomed man a joint. Because they're like, oh, here, man, like, here, you can have this. This will help. And I guess one of them called him out and was like, they're going to get hungry? What do they do for food? I'm like, Mom, really? She was like, we were young. I'm like,
I know.
Well,
I was like, but there is just so many now.
Like,
I mean,
Jesus.
it's really getting like all over the place. So, I mean, I really do hope that we can come together and
I'd
help.
love to figure out something like that. So
Yeah.
I did a lot of that when I lived up in Phoenix. And then Chauncey actually would take me to this church. I forget what the church was called, but I used to go with Chauncey a lot.
Yeah.
To it was like a food kitchen. And I loved it. We'd make a
You
day out of
you
it.
tell me all of that. That you said it was amazing.
Yeah, we'd make a day out of it, prep all the food, cook all the food, and then sit there and cook or feed them. And then afterwards, like I'd go sit there and eat with them, talk with them. I mean, it was a good time.
Well, it's a real thing right now. And I think some people think that like just because, you know, they want to assume people are on drugs and that's why they're homeless. That's not true. Like there are some major things happening where people can't afford a home. They can't afford groceries. They can't, I mean, the food out, like what people can afford for food right now is really, really limiting.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. So, I mean, I'd say everybody should be helping. Like, if you have the time, you really want to show your children like a good heart and kindness. Like, there's so many food banks. There's so many places that you can get help and resources. And, you know, that's kind of what we're trying to do too. Is like, where's the resources? If you need help, where do you go?
And that's what I want to know, especially like for local food kitchens, because I did love doing that a lot.
Yeah, we should do
And,
that.
Yeah, I think there was one here. I think that's a waiting list. I want to say it's St. Vincent de Paul, but I almost think that one might be in the White Mountains because I know there's one in the White Mountains.
Yeah.
That's that same.
Well,
but I'm not
we'll
sure.
find
So
out.
if anybody does know of local food kitchens, please like send us the link or let us know. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down. Like anything about like helping others is like
Yeah.
what we're here for. So, and there's a lot of people that are like less fortunate. And like I always say, giving is like the biggest gift you can give.
And you're big. You're huge at that.
So I just
big
think,
at that.
yeah, I just want to see change. I mean, one, Arizona's hot,
Yeah.
so you need
Get
water.
them shade and water.
Yeah. And then in winter, like shoes, like I see so many people without shoes or like their dogs without, you know, food and water. So I'm just like, what do you got to do? Like, I'm not going to be here to preach how you get saved and how you go get a home. Like, I want to be there to be
not your
like,
place.
hey, there's some kindness in this world. And here it is.
And I think that's what people mess up is they think that they need to preach. Nobody needs your preaches. Nobody needs your prayers. Nobody needs to hear you.
Save yourself.
Yeah.
Like you
exactly.
really do. You got to foot work on you.
Yeah.
And and then today you're perfect. Please tell us all how to do it.
Yeah, exactly. I know a few people like that, so I'll come out to you later, reach out.
That's why I like don't ever want to say anything because like I always just want to like give love. I mean, there's definitely times where I'm like, listen, this needs to be worked on if we're going to
there's
be in a
boundaries.
relationship or friendship or whatever. But like at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit there and beat your sin against you.
No. We all make mistakes. It's part of growth. It's part of human nature. It's how we learn.
It's how we learn and how we help. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to be here.
Yeah.
I mean, having Alyssa on and hearing her story and how you realize how like short life is and, you know, just taking it and what matters and what doesn't matter. I think that's kind of where I'm seeing a lot of people in this transition. It's like you work really hard, you make all this money, and then you're like, what's it for? And that's why I've worked so hard so I can give back.
Well, and that's why you started. I remember that's literally
The only reason why I did it. And then I think I was like, dang it, if I
to
could just
help
live
with
my
Mom
life in
Happy Mommy
giving.
Hour.
And then, but you got to work one for the other. But I think that's why we started this as well, because we want people to tell their stories. We want people to
just
get the
another way to give back
resources.
and get out. Yeah.
Because there's so many nonprofits here. Like Tucson's amazing about their nonprofits.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people
I'm
will be
learning
like,
about a lot.
how do I start one? And I'm like, don't always just start one. Look what's out there and join them and help them because the people are the resources and we need you. And there's so many different passions.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm like,
Volunteer. Find one and volunteer for them.
absolutely. And I think as soon as we get the website started, we're going to be having all the resources and the links and everything like that too for people to be like, hey, I'm struggling with this. Where's the resource for this?
Yeah.
So I think
Reach
that
out
would
to
be.
this person or that person. Yeah, I think we should. I would love that.
What is your biggest passion nonprofit wise?
Working with the unhomed.
The unhome?
I did that a lot in Phoenix. My locker at work, I would always have sandwiches or stuff to make sandwiches, and in our fridge, and I would keep cash. And so we
love
had
that.
homeless, and I would give them a little bag.
So that's your heart. Was like your passion. I know. I've been seeing so many things with like sex trafficking.
That's starting to, because especially with when it comes to kids, when I hear about kids, like that drives me up the wall.
It's just so bad. I mean, it's getting so crazy. You're hearing like, I believe it's like the Underground Railroad and then American freedom fighters. And then they are developing this like story, this true story about how they go in and they fight to like protect these kids. And the stories are so raw and real. And you just like honestly want to hide from it because you don't want to believe that that's like right here in our backyard or everywhere. And so I'm definitely like, want to see these resources and want to help where you can because it's getting to the point where it's so much, it's so all over the place.
And we were finding something this weekend about that it had like a number or link or something because I remember we got into the topic of how do we join something like that.
It was the Underground Railroad, but it's so big. I believe it's called the Undercover Railroad or Underground Railroad. I'll find out and I'll let you guys know. But it was on TikTok because that's where I get all my news source. But it's because there's a new movie coming out that basically is telling all about it.
That's right.
I believe it's the guy who played Jesus.
Jim Caviezel.
Dark hair, blue eyes.
Yeah.
He's blonde and blue eyes in this movie, I think.
The Passion of the Christ, Jesus.
Yes.
Jim Caviezel, I think.
Yeah, he's in this, and he's so good. Such a great actor. But they really like interviewed all of these like, is it Secret Service or I'm not really. It's like top, and they go in and they like rescue these kids. Because there's like a question they ask in the preview that I saw. He's like, "How many predators have you caught?" He like says a number, and it's super high. He goes, "Well, how many kids have you saved?" And the number's so low because they're so smart and they like get away with it. And it's dark underground. And it's just the chilling the stories that you hear about what these kids go through. And so I'm like, whatever those resources are like to help, I'm like, let's be honest, any resource for any nonprofit, I want to help. I mean, pick your passion.
Yeah.
Not pick your poison. Pick your passion.
Pick your passion and go
help,
with it.
And go with it. Because there's so many other people that want to give and always are asking me, how do I help? Like, I want to do this.
And they just don't know where to go.
Yeah. So we're going to start getting those resources out for you guys. And, we're going to be telling these stories. And I was so excited on my Facebook. I was like, hey, we want interviews, for nonprofits. I think you guys linked like 100 different ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like tagged and linked. So, I mean, I want every single one of the nonprofits in Tucson to be on this show.
Present yourself.
I do. I want to hear what you do, what's your passion, your why, and your story. And that's like...
Because like you said, that's the one thing that we definitely want is to be able to guide anyone, anywhere. So if we can do that, that'd be wonderful.
I know. That's what we're here for, guys. To blare it out. Snap. I'm like, as I'm playing with my cap, I'm like anxiety over here. The nonprofit world. Well, let's end with this or that.
This or that? Okay.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Cruise ship or submarine?
Too soon, Blaire. Too soon. I'm going to go with cruise ship for 500, Alex.
Okay. Would you want to be a bird? Or would you rather be a snake?
Make me a bird so I can fly far, far away.
Okay. Nacho or Massimo?
Damn it. I'm still trying to figure out how to work the middle.
Work the middle?
Yeah, I can't pick. Can I like...
Swap?
Yeah, like off season, on season.
I mean, it's this or that.
Damn. Massimo.
Massimo?
I got Massimo.
I agree.
I just love a toxic man. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Sugar or sweet or savory?
Sweet.
Sweet? Mm-hmm. Mountains or beach?
Mountains.
Mountains? Mm-hmm. I agree with that one.
I love the mountains. I mean, the beach is great too, but I feel like I can get lost and actually disappear in the mountains.
Okay. And last one. Music in the park or concert?
Like live music in the park? Oh, that totally.
Live music in the park?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like my whole jam.
Yeah.
Well,
I love those.
I know. I've been like listening to this
we
and
need
that.
more of those here.
Yeah. Like, music in the park?
Yeah.
I would love that. I want to hear more music in the park. You know how much I love live music and picnics.
Yeah. Well, that's why I want like music in the park. We go have a picnic and listen.
Okay, music in the park. Where do we do that? Where is it?
Anyone know?
Tag us because we need it. We need music. I do. I want some live music, and I want some like maybe we start one for a nonprofit.
Pelican Museum, if you're out there.
Pelican.
We need something in the park.
Perfect. That's what we're going to be doing. Done. All right. Well, thank you for another episode.
Yes, thank you. And again, if you like us or love us, don't forget to
Or hate us.
like, follow, and subscribe on all our platforms. You can find us on YouTube,
Yep.
Spotify, or Apple Podcast.
Pretty much wherever you listen, we're going to be on. We're going to be sharing it all and
Yeah.
keep us going.
And if you have questions, let us know.
And if you want to be on here, come on here. Just reach out. We know you got a story to tell.
Oh, absolutely. And we're ready
We
for
want
it.
to hear it. Yep. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to us blare it out.
Bye.